Hello and welcome to the first of our weekly calls with UpRock. As we count down to the much anticipated token launch on the LFG Launchpad, we're going to be giving away a Depioneers NFT. So for everyone here, best of luck for you there. There'll be one lucky person getting that at the end of the call. So make sure right now, go follow Depioneers, share the link on Twitter with the hashtag data, the new oil. Get your friends to join in. Make sure you stick around and stay hyped in the call. Before we get into this, who am I? For anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Seb. Let me just quickly introduce myself a little bit more properly. Welcome. Firstly, this is the UpRock token launch countdown call number 1. And we're going to be chatting with, of course, the co-founders, Jesse and Chris, which is going to be absolutely amazing, and plenty of others as well. So who am I? I'm a content creator. My goal is to simplify education. I do Solana updates 6 days a week on YouTube. I've been crypto for a little while. I have a DJ Nape. I'm part of their community as well. And I'm also part of the Jupiter Uplink working group. And on top of that, somehow I'm the general manager at validator.com. So that's who I am. And we're going to talk about UpRock, which is very, very exciting. Because one of the things that I love the most is trying to explain things in a way that people can understand, because it's quite a mammoth task. It's something that I've been working on. It's like patience. You can never kind of max it out. So one of the reasons why I was so excited with UpRock is because they have this brilliant mobile-first platform that currently has a lot of users. Exact numbers we'll find out later on. And many of the users have never touched crypto. So this is their first kind of step into crypto. So let's start us off. Let's bring up to the stage the UpRock co-founders, Jesse and Chris.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning,
Jim.
Seb, or good evening as it is for you. Nice to be here with you.
Awesome to be here.
Great to be here as well. And yes, it is evening here, worldwide community. Let us know in chat where you're from, and I'll do my best to flick it on the screen as I work out how to use all these platforms at the same time. Just before we jump into introducing the founders, quick reminder, go share that tweet to enter. And look, let's do a little intro. Look, when it comes to this team, we've got some what I'll consider to be serial entrepreneurs. So in both the Web 2 and the Web 3 space. And let's start us off with Jesse. I think the company's in great hands. You're steering the ship as a CEO. Please introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of a background.
Yeah, thank you so much for the intro. Appreciate everyone who showed up today. It's awesome. We're excited to be here, and it's all about the community. So this is our first live stream call. So this is really exciting. Yeah, so we are serial entrepreneurs. My background is my family is in the military, so I grew up all over the world. That really allowed me to help adapt, make friends, make connections. Instilled in me entrepreneurial spirit, really. And so I had my first company pretty much right out of high school. It was a manufacturing company in China. I did that for 8 years. I had a lot of friends in Seattle. I was living in China and Seattle back and forth. And a lot of my friends in Seattle were in software business. And it really just excited me to see, I would take me 2 years from sketches to Pro E engineering drawings to prototype to manufacturing to finally make some revenue 2 years later. And my friends in software making prototypes in a weekend, and delivering it. I was like, that's really cool. I want to be part of that somehow. And so when Android first came out, as part of the Open Handset Alliance, at the time, iPhone was so wall-gardened. And as friends do, getting together, drinking, and we're like, hey, you know what? Someone's going to probably make an app store for adults. Maybe we should do that. And we're like, nah, someone's going to do it. A couple of drinks later, we're like, you know what? We should do that instead. So we actually were the first one to launch the first and largest app store for adults, and that's how I met Chris and actually the co-founding team. Very fortunate to have the same team work on the past 3 startups together. And that was a really great experience because, one, we started to understand, we threw ourselves in the fire. We didn't realize with that content, it's not safe for work, but you can look it up if you want, that you were blocked from using MailChimp, PayPal, Stripe, Play Store, App Store, pretty much everything. And so we had to build our own mobile distribution channel. We had to build our own virtual currency billing powered system. We learned a lot. We actually bootstrapped the whole issue of the chicken and egg problem with the marketplace. How do you how do you get developers and no customers? How do you get customers if there's no apps? So we bootstrapped to 15 million customers, and that was our first successful company together with Chris and the co-founding team. And it was awesome. And so we led from there. We built a browser, and then that led us to what we have today at UpRock. And I can talk about that more. But yeah, that's kind of the initial background for me. Oh, I think you're on mute.
I am. You've already done a lifetime of things, and it's not even one lifetime. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing. Look, it's fantastic for people that have already done things in the past to take all that experience and knowledge and bring it into a new market, a new niche, a new technology. So excellent. And Chris, please.
Absolutely. So as Jesse said, we started out together with some blue apps, but now we've gone through a variety of cryptography and crypto related apps. So I've done both sides of crypto, both the hardcore mathematical side and the more mainstream crypto as tokens side. My background is as a physicist. I first started out, actually, my very first job was working for a company that made avionics for aircraft and autopilot systems, design, that kind of stuff. And then that company got sold, went back to school, and then met Jesse. And yeah, in the meantime, we decided to start making apps. Like Jesse said, it was hard when there was no marketplace, the chicken and the egg of which comes first, the customers or the apps. But it was also hard in the early days of mobile before there was all of the tools and technology to build. We had to really invent a lot of this stuff by ourselves, just as was the case with crypto, where we're in this amazing frontier where we get the opportunity to bring the best of Web 2, the best of Web 1, the best of everything we can learn from the past, and bring it to this great new technological frontier where we can then make it a Web 3 thing, which is awesome because I and the rest of the team love inventing. So that's my background. Like Jesse said, we've been doing apps together and mobile platforms for many, many years now.
Crazy experience. Fantastic. Well, look, I mean, right now, AI is definitely, it's so hot right now. And anyone that's familiar with the Web 2 space knows there's a huge concentration of power there amongst big tech. So the fact that you're working in Web 3, decentralizing that, it's very much needed. So thank you so much. Yeah. Now, I should actually go back a couple of slides. My apologies. We do have an agenda for this call, of course. So we're going to go through now. We've got product and traction updates, some chats about tokenomics and the UPT rewards, some token launch details. We'll go over those because everyone's basically, what are you after? When token? Let us know in the chat. Go blast it. When. Country ambassador program, community highlights, and then we'll end with a giveaway. So moving forward, let's back to you, Jesse, a bit about what is in everyone's mind. What is UpRock?
Yeah.
Why UpRock? It's something which is onboarding millions of people.
Yep. So we've all heard the term DePIN now. They're probably the fastest growing mobile first DePIN on Solana, maybe in crypto, because crypto tends to be desktop or web apps, but mobile is in our blood. So we're native applications and we're fastest growing organically. We have over 1 million installs on Android. We just launched on iOS a few days ago and we're already at 40,000 and it's growing fast. So let me break it down. We don't use the word DePIN in our marketing. Most people don't know what that term means. So like at high level, you mentioned AI centralized. Yeah, this is right. We've heard these terms today: misinformation, malinformation. I think it's just the world is drowning in too much information. This is the issue. And it's just so much going on. We all know this intuitively. Like we wake up, listen to 3 or 4 podcasts. I look at Telegram, X, Discord, like how much stuff you have to just absorb just to make sense of the world so you can make more informed decisions and like keep up. And so AI came at almost a perfect time. Like, hey, I can help you process all this stuff and actually make you more superhuman. And so we've all used the tools. And then very quickly we realize, oh, hold on a second. Is this thing real time? Is it lying to me? Is it gaslighting me? Like Gemini and the OpenAI, it's like we're all worried about Terminator AI, but it's more like nagging mom AI. It's actually even worse. And we all, if we felt that way, it's like we know a lot of other people feel this way. It felt very antithetical to the Web3 principles. Really the only way you can trust this AI-driven future that's coming, whether it's an open source model or a closed source model, it's the data that feeds it, really. And we know from building a crypto browser, Chris alluded to that, we actually built a more nerdier browser than Brave. It was fully encrypted, had a VPN protocol, and we sold it to Vast. We know what it means, how hard it is to unblock the internet. And one of the best ways to do that is a decentralized network that's people powered. So it's the world's knowledge, so the world should benefit. And that's what we did. And so when we first launched UpRock, it's the world's first kind of reward program where anyone can actually sell passive income, earn passive income selling their unused bandwidth and compute. Because the message is that everyone understands, even your grandmother knows that data is the new oil. Okay, cool. But what can you actually do about it? How do you actually take advantage? How do you make AI work for you? How do you actually take advantage of this data gold mine? And so we made it really simple. Under 2 minutes, we auto-generate a wallet for you. You start earning rewards instantly because it's crypto. It's global day one. And that message has really resonated because people want to make passive income on a mobile device around the world. And so we do it better than the rest. And that's what it is. So we have really amazing traction. Our use cases, I think mobile data collection is far superior than like centralized servers, especially in this AI world where everyone's going to have their own agent or model. And then really the best community. Like the UpRock community, the Jupyter Launchpad community. I mean, they're really, this is the reason why I wake up every day. We're excited. We barely get any sleep, but it's okay because there's so much excitement, and that we don't take it for granted. And in business and in crypto, especially, timing is everything. So we want to we're here for all of it. Like, let's fucking go. So yeah.
LFG, look, for sure, UpRockers know how to engage. I just get on my Twitter and I just have like notification after notification. How am I supposed to get any work done when I have to go through all these notifications?
Yeah, it's pretty
wild. For sure.
Yep.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a nice overview. And I guess one super important thing to also add, Chris, maybe you could lead on this, is essentially security features, because it's great to see, the Web3 space are very security conscious, and Web2 is becoming more security conscious. So this might be, a question that's quite common in the community. So it'd be great if you could, tell us a little bit about the security features of how UpRock keeps the data secure, and from there. Oh, Chris has just left us, I think.
Just dropped off.
He's just dropped off.
Yeah, just for a second.
Well,
that's what happens when you spook the CIA talking about security.
we'll give it a second. We'll see if he pops back in.
Yeah.
Chris. All right, chat. Let's get him back.
I'll talk to you about it briefly. He can go into definitely more detail. So we'll wait for him. I'd say maybe just a high level. One thing that people confuse with UpRock, and very quickly, they think it's a proxy network, like just a basic proxy, like they're used to like a Web2. So we're not opening, it's not like you're installing these apps. One, it's not on the desktop version, it's not a browser extension. So we do not care about your personal browsing history. It's never going to be an extension. They're standalone sandbox apps. We're just being able to access the internet from your local IP. That's really what matters, but it's not tied to your browser. That's very clear. It probably differentiates us from other DePINs because, we want to be able to run in the background. If it's attached to your personal browser, then your personal browser has to constantly be open and running. And it's also tied to your personal history. That's just too risky. So there's that. It's not a proxy, which means we're not like open port on your device. That I can't just access Seb's mobile device, find out your IP, and like run code, any kind of code I want, and access your local device storage or something like this. It's very defined data jobs. And Chris can talk about that a little bit more, but I think those are two common questions people ask. Is like, is it my history you're selling? And then what can actually happen on the device? What's selling? Oh, hey, there you are.
He's back.
Hey there. How intensely embarrassing. All of a sudden my connection dropped. Goes to show you. The one time of the month. Even 99.7% uptime is still 7 minutes down out of every month.
Well, I guess the first step is UpRock. The next step is decentralized internet that doesn't cut off. Next year's roadmap.
Yeah. So Chris, I just told them two basics. Maybe you can go into more detail because it is a common question. Is this like tied to your personal browser history? No, we don't care about that. And second, this is not like an open port on your phone. Like we're not just running any kind of code we want. So maybe you can just kind of expand on that a little bit. Yeah, because this is a common question. Like everyone wants to know, how secure is this thing? It's one of the top questions. Yeah.
Absolutely. So security and privacy is obviously number one for us. We can't ship anything if it's not going to make sure that our users stay protected. To that end, we don't run as a browser extension. We're not part of the browser program. So any browser extension it's running inside the browser. It's like inviting a guest into your home. Once you are a browser extension, there's nothing to stop that guest from wandering around, seeing something that maybe they shouldn't, or if they're nefarious, that you don't want them to. But we're separate. We run entirely separately. And on the mobile devices, the device itself enforces a lot of walls between applications. So each application is running very much isolated in many ways. And we take advantage of that by making sure that we're separate from your browser process, separate from your messaging processes. We're an entirely separate and standalone application. And then the other concern is many applications that might be trying to build a decentralized internet. Well, the easiest way for that to happen is to actually run server software on your device. That means that that application can connect to your device and ask it to do something, and that sounds great. But of course, if that application can connect, well, presumably they're using some keys so that your device isn't just open to the world, but whatever keys they're using can eventually be broken, lost, misplaced, or the security misconfigured. So we don't do that. There's no persistent server running on your device. There's no ability for a third-party software or even our software to connect to your device and make it do something. Instead, we run kind of the opposite way around. Your device connects to our matchmaking servers, which are the ones that hand out the work. And it says, hi, I'm available for work. And it gives some parameters of what it can do. But these are generic parameters, not tied to your local data. They're things like, I'm in this country. My network score is 200. And based on that, the matchmaking server will offer it work if it's appropriate. Then the device gets that work and decides whether to execute it or not. So it's not the case that that your device has sort of been turned into a robot where we or potentially anybody else who could break the security could come and tell your device what to do, but rather we offer it work, and it's up to the runtime on the device to decide whether that's work that's appropriate for it. And also, we of course only try to offer work that's suitable for the parameters, for the capabilities of your device. But in that way, we're running in a very standalone, sandboxed area, separate from all your other applications, whether that's your browser, your banking, your messaging, or anything else on your phone. We're just using the resources of your device, but none of your personal data.
That's a very good description, and something that I needed to get clarified myself early on in my adventure as an UpRocker. So thank you for that. Maybe for some people, they're probably not going to fully understand what a sandbox is. Can you quickly explain that?
Absolutely. So it varies from platform to platform. This is something that is the most advanced on the mobile platforms right now. But essentially, when you log into your computer, you can do kind of anything you want. You can go look in your documents folder or your downloads. You can look in your recycle bin. You can connect to a network, maybe access the audio device and play some music, or turn on the camera and make a stream. A sandbox is the idea, just like you wouldn't let your kids run around in the big wide desert. You build a little sandbox for them and you know that there's only good things in there. A sandbox is the idea that with our application, we only have access on the mobile devices to the absolute permissions we need. So you've probably seen, if you've downloaded an application before, maybe it asks you for location permissions or for access to your camera, your audio device, to the ability to read and write files in a particular folder, and so on. You'll notice with UpRock, we ask for a very minimal set of permissions. We'll ask you for access to the internet. Of course, we need that. Sometimes for some workloads, we might ask you if we can save some files in a particular folder that's just for us. But we don't ask for permissions that we don't need. And the mobile operating system, Android and iOS itself, enforces those restrictions. If our app hasn't asked you for access to your GPS and you haven't granted us that access, we're incapable of accessing it. Similarly with the camera, the microphone, with data from other applications. And so a great philosophy when you're building an app like this is, of course, build it to respect your users' privacy, but also don't ask for any permissions you don't need. Don't ship any features that you don't need. Because if you don't need them, the only possible thing that could happen if we ask for that permission and we don't need it is that we make some mistake and someone is able to exploit it. But if we build our software not to need it by being careful to avoid any of those things where we would need it, then it's impossible. Even if we make a mistake and someone is able to exploit it, your Android or your iPhone will still prevent our process from accessing that sensitive data. So it's a defense in-depth approach.
Good. Let's keep everyone's data safe. Love to hear it. Thanks very much, Chris. All right, let's jump on in. Maybe cover a couple of product updates. And I've got UpRock on my phone, but maybe Jesse or Chris, you do as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's very pretty. Just a couple of updates here.
Yeah.
We've got Android. There's a new poll feature that's live.
Yep.
iOS, successful launch, May the 4th.
Yep.
May the 4th was with us.
Yep.
And it's on Mac OS as well. And the UI is gorgeous.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we're actually really excited about that. You know, we changed the UI a few times. You know, it's always nervous when you change the UI because when you change it kind of drastically, sometimes even if it's great, some people can hate it. So love that everyone loves it. So that's awesome. Yeah, the Android poll, which is exciting to some update on that. We've had almost 200,000 people interact with the poll. 92,000 roughly said they're new to crypto. The poll was this, like how new are you to crypto? So just learn about it, kind of 1 to 2 months, I think 4 to 6 months, and then kind of degen mode, you know? And almost 43.4% said they're new. So we really are onboarding people to Web3 for the first time. Why is that so exciting too? It's like, we all know, if we've all been in the wallet, is the first empowering thing with Web3. Once you have that, it opens the whole world, you know? And also for the company, if we really deliver a great experience with that, you know, we all know this, like whether it's your first, if it was Binance or Coinbase or a Phantom or whatever wallet was your first wallet, if it's an amazing experience, you tend to use it for a long time. So we have an opportunity to not only like capture new people and bring them on board to Web3, but like make this amazing experience for them that they'll choose UpRock when they want to do future things with their wallet. So that's really cool. With the iPhone browser, you know, that takes, you know, it takes a longer time to get approved. So finally it's out. And so, you know, we really appreciate everyone's patience, that iPhone users finally fucking out, but it's out. And so we actually about 40, I think in the past 4 days, we've already had over 40,000 installs, which is awesome. And so, yeah, it's insane. And I'm sure it's going to be a mix of crypto people and people who want to earn passive income. If you type in the words reward program or passive income apps or things like that in both stores, there's a ton of old Web2 apps. Because it's a global trend. People they all know, it's like my phone is on, I spend $1,000 or $500 or whatever it costed for these phones today, and just half the time you don't use it while you sleep, especially. Can I use the resources and make some money back? And so anyone who makes that the best experience tends to get really high ratings. So, you know, we have tens of thousands of ratings, 4.9 on Android. We're just starting iPhone, but yeah, so it's really great traction. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No. The other crazy thing, I just wish to give a compliment here, is when I first became a bit of an UpRocker, and as I started to learn, you know, in the first round of LFG Launchpad, you're getting like 10,000 signups a week, around that number. Now, 10,000 a day. Yep. I mean, that's congratulations, big congratulations. There aren't even that many people in Solana super active. So as you've said, you're pulling in people from the real world, from the Web2 space. It must feel good. It must feel good to see that success, you know, all that hard work paying off, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is our, you know, it took many iterations to get here. So, but timing is important. You know, it's not our first rodeo, but it still took some iterations to get here. I think because of the past two we've always been self-funded. So the last thing we like to do is, even if we were funded, to take all that money and give it right back to Google Ads. You know, that's crazy. We don't like to do that. So we really learned how to bootstrap our network, how to find the communities around keywords that we want to rank for, whether it's a browser looking for security, whether it's App Store looking for apps and games. And in this case, it could be passive income, or it could be reward program, or new to crypto. There's a lot of communities out there. So we've really learned how to like engage and communicate. And then obviously the Jupiter community, that whole community is a beast, you know, and like so proud. It's amazing actually. And they set the tone, you know. I've personally participated in so many launch pads, and it's always a static page and just says farm token, you know, you don't even care what it is. And it's like for the founder, that sucks. And in that case, this case was like, it started off with interviews with the founders, learn about the product and services. There's AMAs, there's questionnaires. I mean, like this whole series right now we're doing is for the community, because we want to over communicate and connect with people. And so I think that's going to be gold standard. So we were excited to win the support. And that's obviously, that really helped our traction too. We were getting it before that, but really like amplified it like crazy. Since
it was well deserved. It was well deserved as well. And then, I mean, you're at 1.1 million installs now. What's the next milestone? This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Well,
Chris,
the next number is 2, of course, and then
well, you know,
3, 4, and 5, and we just keep counting. I love counting. But that's what was it for those of you who saw Sesame Street as a kid? 1 million users. So now the next number, we'll have to bring the count back. We can do 2 million. Yeah. What we love and really believe in UpRock is that it can work for a community like the Jupiter Launchpad, which has been this amazing community, which is primarily populated with really sophisticated crypto experts. People have been doing this for a long time, and they can see the value in this, and it's still worth it for them. We haven't created an experience that's too dumb to simplify for them. And at the same time, be able to bring a lot of people to crypto, a lot of new people. I genuinely believe, you know, when crypto first got started, it was easy to say, you know, I'm a computer scientist, a guy who loves math, so crypto wasn't too hard for me, and I could see how it would work, but it's hard. You got wallets and keys, and you can't lose this, and you can't write it down necessarily, or if you do, you got to figure out how to keep it safe and all that kind of stuff. And so it's intimidating for a lot of people. And the reality is, the right way to bring new people to crypto isn't to infantilize it. It isn't to make it dumb for them. It's just to make it easy for them. I genuinely have come to believe that crypto is just really the right answer for a lot of people. Why trust your money to, just setting aside UpRock for a moment, but why trust your money to a Venmo or a PayPal or a centralized party who can block it, who can go out of business, who can run away with it, or all of that, when you can do it directly? It is awesome, but it needs to be just as easy as that Venmo or PayPal or anything else. And that's just one example. And then when you realize that it can make experiences like UpRock possible, that just makes it so awesome. When we started out with the App Store, our single biggest problem was, how do we charge only 30 cents or 50 cents for an app? It wasn't possible. At the time, the best rates we could get for credit card processing were 30 cents per transaction. We lost it all in transaction fees. And so small transactions, community transactions, being able to have a community like this and reward them with millions of small, regular transactions for the work they're doing is something that really is impossible without crypto. So we believe with UpRock, where's that next number? It's 2 million. And how do we get to that next number? We keep doing what we're doing not by making it dumb for people who are new to crypto, but just by making it easy and by doing things like this to really educate them and show them. That's Seb. I just at the Jupiter Launchpad process, I really started watching some of your content, and I love your mission of making things simple and easy for people to understand, because people are smart. They don't need things dumbed down for them. They just need it explained to them, and they need it explained to them with a frame of reference, with a background, with an understanding of the world that they already understand. And with that, I think anybody is capable of coming into crypto and of having a great experience and of using it for lots of good purposes. Not just people our age, but my parents. This is, as with all of our products, it has to pass the mom test. If my mom can't use it, then it's, well, maybe not some of our products,
your mom,
but
and your grandmom, right?
Exactly. So if they can't use it, then the product is too complicated and not ready for prime time. So that's what we've really, that's our goal with UpRock, is to make it simple and easy for people to earn and for people to get into crypto.
Wonderful. Look, I mean, that's the mission, right? Just keep things make things more and more simple. There's always going to be a learning curve, but as much as you can just simplify it,
Yeah.
and then just next step, just learn.
Yep.
All right. Look, before we jump into the next slide, which we've basically just jumped into, just a
I love
reminder.
that. That's our favorite
Yeah.
post, by the way.
Whoever
we spend so much time on
distributed
we spent so much time on Midjourney making the greatest images, but that was our favorite.
It's
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite as well, actually.
Yeah.
It's the simple things.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, everyone on YouTube, the pinned message on the YouTube comments is the tweet. You have to go and retweet it, follow the directions. We want you to get, one of you is going to get a Depioneers NFT. So go get amongst it. So as you know, over 1 million installs, and the installs have just been going up and up and up. And hopefully, next week's call, the week after that, or however many calls we do, we just update this and we just see the growth continuing to just explode.
Yep. That's right.
Now we're going to do a little bit more information on partnerships a little later, but just in terms of just traction, probably nothing really much to talk about here, other than the fact that, you're partnering up. And one thing that you said to me in a previous call is that you want the DePIN movement to grow. You want this whole thing to grow. And it's not just you versus Google. You need to get all these different teams in the Web3 decentralized space just to level up with UpRock, just leveling up like crazy. Yes. And then as a kind of coalition, then you've got a little bit of skills to pay the bills when it comes to taking on big tech. And I love to see that. And it's great to see you've got these partnerships growing in the works with Wen, Cube, DATS Project, Synesis One, and Koi. So a little bit more on some of those soon.
Cool. Yeah.
We're going to jump into tokenomics now.
Hey.
And anyone that does actually know me, I'm big into tokenomics, really big into tokenomics. And I would say there's still a decent amount of stuff to know when it comes to these tokenomics. But one really important thing to note is if you've been using the mobile phone, the UPT token has been going out to the miners, the people providing the resources, for 5 months now. 5 months, right?
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
So that's very, very important to keep in mind. This has already been there, rewarding users. The actual token generation event we'll talk about later, that hasn't started, but at the moment, if you jump into your app, you'll see how many UPT you're eligible to claim in the near future. But gents, if someone's new, if they go and grab it, put it on their mobile phone now, is there a good chance that they could earn a little bit of UPT?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's going to be new ways to earn as well over time, but you can start. I mean, the whole point is that because I think it's the world's best reward program. Everyone understand it's not printing tokens for fun here. It's the underlying business model of data is what pays for it. And so instantly rewarding is what gets the traction. So if you install on iPhone or iOS today, I would say it's under 1 minute, actually. It's really simple. It was passwordless login. You start earning pretty quickly. It is an early adopter program. So the earn rates were a little more, kind of boosted during the beginning few months. So we can't sustain that over long term. So it's going to be kind of regular rates after TGE, but we're going to have more ways to earn as well. I mean, one of the things when you mentioned with partnerships, I don't think in the future people are going to want to download 15 DePIN apps. They're going to probably just download maybe 1 or 2 that do it the best and aggregate bundle growth. So as you just wake up, you'll see multiple tokens in your wallet. So multiple ways to earn your token. Today, a lot of it's very passive. I really think that some of our customers that are on the mobile would actually might want to do a couple of actions to earn maybe some more extra rewards. So we're going to experiment with that. So and referral programs are big. So if you look at that tokenomics slide, you'll see 50% of our token is allotted for the community. That's not just mining it, but that's also developer bounties, sharing with friends and family, anything that helps promote the network, build it up, to help scale it faster than Web2 can ever imagine. And that's what the power of the tokenized people-powered network is about. That's why everyone loves DePIN movement, because it really is onboarding people to Web3 faster than ever that anyone imagined. Like maybe stable coins could be the best use case for crypto, like maybe DePIN in second, because it's really like it's so instantly rewarding. And what other reward program is global day one? Only way you can do that is crypto. So yeah, so it's 50% there, and we want to and UPT is central to our whole ecosystem. Our transactions are based in UPT. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
And on top of that, when we look at the earn rate right now, the majority of the earn rate is us ensuring that there's a reasonable earn rate so that it's attractive to install the app. But as more and more workloads come on, there are going to be more and more rewards coming from those workloads. And that's why we've designed not a Bitcoin style sharp halving mechanism, but rather a simple, straightforward, steady taper off of, thanks a lot, Sed, for coming back to this side. So that's why we have designed a simple, straightforward, steady taper off over 10 years. We want to make sure that right now, while we're still in the early days, while we're still signing up business customers to use this service, that there's plenty of rewards going out. Over time, we really, really believe that the significant majority of the rewards are going to be coming directly from the business customers who are using the platform. And so this basic mining reward, this is just to make sure that there's a level set, to make sure that there's enough to make it attractive, to get it going. As Jesse said before, there's a chicken and the egg problem. We can build a great DePIN network, but without users, well, then nobody wants to come be a customer, and vice versa. So this is that pathway that takes us from today, where we have a handful of use cases that are already live, to the future, where we will have hopefully hundreds and thousands of business customers who are actually using the UpRock network. And so when you look at this mining, this isn't all the tokens. Well, of course, this is all the tokens. There's only 1 billion, but we are really dedicated to building a token economy. That means that business customers who want to use the service are buying tokens in order to run their workloads, which are then being rewarded to the users, to the people who have the UpRock app running. And the velocity of those tokens through the ecosystem is where the significant amount of the value will come from.
Yeah, and I will also add too, speaking of like thinking about the future, we're already at over 1 million installs today, probably 10 million or more in a year. That's not just also a great reward program. That's 10 million wallets. That's collective buying power on behalf of the community. We can say, hey, that's a major retailer. We can go out and say, what kind of deals can you give us to our community? So which means, how can we get more value out of your mined tokens? So instead of just cashing out or sending it to PayPal or USDC, if you say, like, we can get you 10% off your phone bill, or 10% off this, or 20% off that. So we just want to get more value for your mined tokens. And on the B2B side, 10 million wallets, that's actually a distribution channel. And we know this well because we built an app store, we sold one. The same apps, dApps, and AI tools that are using our real-time data APIs to feed the AI agents and models, we can actually provide a distribution channel to the same developers, so they can promote those apps, dApps, and AI tools back to the community, where people can spend those UPT on maybe a discount, or incentivize them, say, hey, you can earn some extra tokens if you try this app out, or try this dApp out, or like experiment with this AI tool. So I think it's going to be, we want to have our tokenomics, we want to have, or not just ways to earn it, but you really have to think about organic reasons to want to buy your token and spend them too. If it's just earn, hoard, and cash out, I don't think that's healthy over time. You got to have reasons to, like, is there actually a reason to buy UPT or not? Or is it just earn all day long? Or is there reasons to swap them or spend it on transactions or deals, So.
And yeah, these are deflationary tokenomics.
That's right.
And that's so valuable to the ecosystem. Tokenomics is a discussion you could spend days on. It's a hard thing to master. These anything that has a deflationary component or adds demand for the token, that keeps people mining, sharing their resources, that's a win. And sorry, Chris, I cut you off.
I was just going to add to what Jesse was going to say, and said what you said. We really believe that we've designed something that's not artificially deflationary, but it's actively useful. So when it comes to rewards, we have the great thing about crypto and about rewards on mobile is we can offer a range of rewards. We've talked about some of the high-end rewards, things like tickets to events, flights, and so on and so forth. And no, these aren't giveaways. This isn't a contest. This is something that, just like a great rewards program from an airline, the prices are available. You can go look in the app, or you will be soon, for these big rewards, and actually see what the price is, and that's the price, and you can either earn or buy UPT tokens to get there and do that. But the great thing about crypto is it lets us have very useful but very cost-effective rewards. So things like mobile data, gigabytes of data for your phone, or other useful things, payments for common maybe streaming services and things like that, because those are a more reasonable dollar amount. But with, as Jesse said, the buying power of 1 million or several million users, we can go and acquire those at a rate that's better than you can go buy them at the store, and then make them available for UPT. And then you have that great, simple one-click transaction. No more having to worry about logging into maybe a carrier website to put in your phone number, to enter a credit card or some other kind of payment system, or go to a kiosk in a store to physically do this kind of payment. We can ask you for your phone number because we're already on your phone. You can give us the permission to know that. You'll never have to type it wrong if you give us that permission. And then we can just automatically we're talking to several partners right now, but our hope is that within a very short period of time, we will have this available in 120 countries. You'll just be able to redeem your UPT right for gigabytes of data to your phone. Obviously more in more countries in the future, but that's with the brokers we're dealing with right now. That's the coverage we'll have available, knock on wood here, very soon.
No.
And so it makes it really great. And so it's something actually useful to do with these tokens.
Well, sounds very good. But one thing, Chris, save some alpha for the next call, huh? But that's great. That's real world use. And I hadn't even thought of it quite like that. So, this is really merging that Web 2 to Web 3, which some people call Web 2.5.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So what can you do right now? This infographic sums it up very nicely. If you haven't already done so, sign up now, set your username and profile picture, optimize your device settings, refer your friends, your mum, your grandmum. That's a joke from the dupe call, by the way. And we're going to talk about Depioneers a little bit later, but that will become apparent shortly. Lock one soul for the Depioneers. Engage with the community, and don't try to cheat the system. And this is what this is for here. Ultimately, it's about more and more users. So this graphic's very simple to understand. And essentially, if you look at the bottom one, follow my mouse here for a second. Don't do this one. Don't, as one user, go and create lots of different accounts, refer yourself, do all that stuff, have multiple phones, and try and game the system, because that doesn't help you. The system can detect it, and at the end of the day, it's not hard to go and, you've got a friend, you've got a few friends, go and refer them instead, and stick with these two. Yep. Right, gents?
Yep. I mean, look, like there's, in crypto, that's very common for people wanting to game it and farm. But what you're really doing is stealing from the community and people who want to actually, because we have a community pool, we want to give it out to people who are, it's going to be not just people who are mining it, but developer bounties, marketing people. If you're creating content for us, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to do all that stuff. That's what the community pool's for. And so when you take advantage of it or cheat it, you're just taking tokens from people who are going to like to earn it properly. So yes, I agree.
Brilliant. All right, let's get on to the next thing. We'll talk about the token launch. I'm looking at the comments here. It's just, when is TG? When? So we'll go over that in a second. Quick reminder, go and retweet that Depioneers NFT tweet. We'll be doing the draw at the end on live stream. Oh, okay. So UPT token launch, what details can you give us? Can you give us a date yet?
So it is going to be announced soon. We are working really hard with the Jupiter team. They have a schedule. We want to stick with it, and we don't want to bleed too much into another startup's launch pad time either. That wouldn't be fair to them. So we do want to be, not take too long, but we'll probably be able to announce that on a future live stream call. So we're going to save the alpha for later. But obviously we want to share that as soon as possible, of course. All I can say is it's not going to be, we want to keep it, they want to keep it at a good pace. And like I said, it wouldn't be fair to the other startup to bleed too much into their time. So just think about, yeah, that's the best I can say today.
Thank you, because
Yeah.
community, look, give some love to the team. They have to play by the rules of Dupe. We don't want
Yeah.
to see the win army out there. The
Yeah.
rules of Dupe. Dupe is trying to grow the pie. If you're not familiar with Dupe, you'll learn about it in your adventure into this space. But all you need to know right now is there's more than one project that needs the attention of Dupe, and UpRock is on that list. It will be happening soon. That's the ultimate takeaway.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yep.
Yeah. When?
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
When soon? From the perspective of building everything, frighteningly soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got lots of code to get ready.
Brilliant. All right. Let's go over the country ambassador program. I mentioned this before, but very strong Discord, very strong Twitter. Like, I'm not a shilly person. If I say it is, then I believe it is, and so much strength. So, your next initiative is the country ambassador program. I'd love to hear from you've just announced this.
Yep.
In the chat. Have you gone? Have you applied? Are you going to apply? What countries are interested? And you've had quite a few submissions, right?
Yeah.
Team?
Yeah. Exactly.
100?
I mean,
Absolutely. So
yeah, we have
the fundamental idea. Go ahead. Jason.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say the fundamental idea, no matter what country you're from, I'm sure you've seen that experience of some really popular foreign product or application or company comes in and they just don't get it. And so that's why it's really important for us. We're trying to build a great product that has, deep and lasting universal appeal. But even as we succeed at that, it's really important for us to have people in each individual country who really understand that country and what the jokes are, what the memes are. I made a joke about the Count from Sesame Street earlier. For somebody who came from a country where Sesame Street never ran, they were probably like, what the heck is he talking about right now? It's not funny. So that's why we really need to find great country ambassadors, people who can tell us what we're getting right and what we're getting wrong, and what things resonate in that country, and how we explain it to people there, and how we.
Oh,
We've had a little freeze.
Uh-oh.
But I agreed with every word that was said.
Oh, there you
back?
go. You're back. It was just for 10 seconds.
You're on mute now. Okay.
Anyway, I think you guys got the big idea. But essentially, we know that we don't know everything about everywhere, and that's why we need to find great people to help us to know what we need to know about everywhere.
Yep.
So what's the actionable there? What should people do? Where should they find out about the country ambassador program?
I think the best is probably Discord. I mean, you can email us, but really, like, we're gonna gauge you because we're in those chat rooms the most. I think that's probably the best way to reach out to us. This is also one of the best things about the Web3 way. It's like you want to balance kind of the community vision leadership side with empowering the community to also lead too, and that's how you can scale. Because if we just try to do this all ourselves, we couldn't do it. But empowering the community to have the tools to help localize the apps so that they make sense in each country's each language and really in the right context. The messaging, it's so powerful, so awesome that everyone is excited about it and want to be part of it. It's great. Yeah. But yeah,
so keep them coming. Keep the submissions coming. And it doesn't just have to be an individual, right? It can be a group of a little community, a little club, a little DAO. They can go and submit. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. We're here for all of it. Like I know some folks want to. They work with 2 or 3 people team. They're like, they're kind of like small little startup DAOs or friends and like to do this, or they're really bullish on DePIN. We've been connected with quite a few like small KOL groups. They're like, or sometimes just a group of like 2 or 3 people that just really excited about DePIN in general, or AI and this kind of narrative, and they like just want to be part of it in some part. And either way is great. If you're willing to join us and be part of the community, we want to support you too.
Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Be an ambassador. All righty. All right. Well, next, let's chat from someone that's it's probably 4 a.m. where he is. He woke up especially. This is Ecstasy, and he's a self-confessed soul sexual, an early rocketeer in UpRock Discord. He's helping the community 1 GM at a time. Member of the Saga DAO. If you don't know what that is, we'll cover that as well. Let's we'll say goodbye for Chris for now. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for all the alpha and just keeping it simple. Appreciate that. And welcome to the welcome to the stage, Ecstasy. Ecstasy, a bright and early GM to you. Thank you for waking up too early for my liking. How are you? Yeah.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm doing well. I had to wake up, middle of the night for this, but wanted to jump in on the call. I am greeting you from the future. You know, it is the 9th here. I think it's the 8th where you guys are.
Yeah. Back to the future.
Nice.
Wow.
That's it.
So,
take it away.
About yourself. What is a rocketeer? Who are you?
Yeah, well, a little bit about me. I am relatively new in a sense to crypto. Essentially, I started looking at crypto a lot more heavily later in 2023 and quickly learnt about the whole on-chain world aside from centralized exchanges. So once I started getting into it, I very quickly picked up a Saga phone. And that's actually how I come to find out about UpRock, actually. I saw a post that was on X saying that it was, out on that phone. So I had a bit of a look at it, did a quick bit of research, downloaded it, and then I let the DAO know, the Saga mobile DAO. So that's how I actually, came into contact with the team at UpRock, mainly Raz at the beginning. And that kind of led me to being a rocketeer. So that was a group that is still ongoing. It was originally set up by having members such as myself, handpicked by the UpRock team to join it. So it was anyone who, I guess, had been jumping in on any of the social media platforms, so X, Discord, that sort of thing, and generally being helpful. So I guess Raz saw that, got me in there, and it's been a good experience thus far. So being a rocketeer, it's quite interesting because I get to chat with a lot of people from all across the world and kind of get an idea as to what they think about things and how communities, maybe in if it's their languages or whatever it might be, how they're reacting, that sort of thing.
So what are you normally doing in Discord? Just helping them out, guiding them? What and like you're kind of handling issues or trying to bring have a good overview so you can kind of give it to the team so they just keep on shipping. I mean, you're like, part of the strong community like yourself is really part of the success of UpRock, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head there. So pretty much in terms of being in the Discord, some people will have really technical questions. Not a huge amount of people will have technical questions, but those that do, I'll definitely handball them on to one of the mods who has a lot more in-depth knowledge from the tech side of things. But for anything else, I'll always be in there responding back to people. So I know a lot, as you mentioned, Seb, a lot of when right now, of course. So, responding to any and all queries and questions that people may have around UpRock, what it does, any issues that they're having, when the TG is, explaining what TG is. And if anyone's, watching right now, it's token generation event. Took me a while to learn that too when I first got into crypto. So little things like that. It's just about helping the community be connected to the project. And sometimes it's just those little things that if you can explain that, little piece here or there, it makes a big difference. So when I do respond, I tend to get a lot of, thank yous, handshakes, whatever in the chat, which is great because I know that people have understood what I've said, and it's really helped them out. So it's been really great like that.
Oh, that's good to hear. So, I don't think everyone's going to know what a Saga is, to be honest. This is like, these are limited supply things. I'll quickly, it's a phone from Solana. There's 10,000, 20,000.
20,000.
20,
20,000.
yeah, 20,000 with about 17 and a half or 18,000 last time I looked anyway, activated. It is deflationary, of course, because, some people might have, I don't know, dropped in the toilet and it doesn't work, their screen's cracked, whatever it is. I haven't had any issues with mine. My Saga's been great. I know when the bonk hype happened, I know that a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon just for that, but the phone itself is actually great. It's really snappy. The camera on it is not too bad, but overall it's actually really quick. Even with all of the apps and so forth on it, it works great. I've had no issues with it myself. But the Saga phone, it was Solana Mobile's first venture into a device, and a lot of people kept thinking money printer, things like this, and it's had a lot of great drops, which has been awesome. But the whole point of having that phone was that it's a physical device in your hand. You can use it. It's Web3, and sure, it won the award from the guy who reviews the phones. Just what did he call it, Seb? The worst phone or something like that?
Yeah, Marcus Brownlee. It's like the worst phone of the year award or something. I can't remember the exact title.
It was something like that, yeah. And it's like, for anyone that's in crypto, they understand the importance of having native Web3 or the advantage, because obviously Saga's so limited, most people don't experience this, but having a phone that has like a native dApp store on it with the apps are just on there, some of them. So if you didn't have potentially a Saga, you wouldn't have access to it, which is kind of scary, but that's all the more reason to, go get your chapter 2 pre-order in. Presumably it'll be a phone.
We'll have to wait and see. Now you mentioned the Saga DAO. You're part of the Saga DAO. So just quickly, what is Saga DAO? How does it tie in with UpRock? Can people join the Saga DAO?
So Saga DAO, we do have a non-gated chat if people wanted to stop by and chat with us. But similarly to the phone, how it is limited to the 20,000 units, it is token gated. So you need the Genesis token that comes with the phone. So it's a group Discord DAO, which is made up of people who have that phone. So every single person in there has went through the process, verified their Genesis token, just like Jesse, myself. We both have Sagas, and so we're in there. So it's a whole bunch of people that are interested in Solana, primarily, seemingly most of the time. Kind of why I always put out the soul sexual, as was mentioned at the beginning, that I love Soul, but I'm open to trying new chains. But I really do like Soul. It's just a lot easier. Okay,
that makes sense.
But yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
know that fully, so.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of a play on words. I like a bit of humor. I will be frequently doing that within the chat in the DAO, because sometimes things can be all over the shop when it's busy, whatever it may be. So I like to inject humor wherever possible. That's more of my forte. But it's a collection of a whole bunch of people that have the phone, interested in Web3, and you can't get into it unless you have the phone. And so when I saw UpRock, I come out, I downloaded it, I joined the Discord, and then eventually I started chatting with Raz in the DMs, and I was just chatting to him about what is UpRock, its vision, how it's different to maybe some other projects out there, and it was really good learning about it. That's it right there. You need one of those. And I just one thing led to another, and I helped to you know, in terms of facilitating a bit of a connection to the Saga DAO, essentially Saga Mobile DAO. I helped Raz to sort of get a bit of a feel for what we thought of it, because obviously when it's brand new, you don't know too much about it. Everyone's like, "Hey, can we trust this? Is it a rug? What's going on?" So that's kind of how that started.
You've done so much for the Rocketeers community. So thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and thank you for waking up at 3 a.m. and foregoing your beauty sleep in order to guide us.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Oh,
Thanks.
no worries. That's why the camera's off. I'm going to go straight back to bed.
All right,
Thanks,
sounds
Seb.
good. Thanks, Ecstasy. Cheers. All righty. All right, we'll bring back onto the stage Chris, and let's.
Hey, I missed you. How you doing?
Hey guys, and thanks a lot, Ecstasy, for that. And you want to talk about people who didn't, who what happened? So I ordered when the Saga was first announced. I ordered one that was cool, and obviously we do a lot of mobile software. I have several different test devices, and it came in, and I sort of set it there, and the whole rigmarole of setting up the device and transferring everything over to it, and I just left it sitting on the desk, and then one day Jesse pinged me, he was like, "Hey, what about today's airdrop?" I'm like, "What airdrop?" He's like, "On the Saga," and I'm like, "Damn, it's been sitting there for 8 months and I've never set it up." So that's where do the late setups come from? You just set it on the desk and forget about it. And then Jesse says, "Hey, what about today's airdrop?" So
I've got about $3,000 worth of airdrops. It's crazy. I just randomly check it, and I always catch it at the right time when something just pops. I'm like, what the fuck? And yeah, so it's a gift that keeps on giving. So this is why it's so hyped up. Why Chapter 2 is sold out. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You can still get a Chapter 2. It's a pre-order, but
yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's move into some DePIN. Let's move into some DePIN updates. Now I have mentioned DePIN, but I don't think I was smart enough to actually tell you what it means. So decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So the peer-to-peer networks where individuals contribute physical infrastructure resources like idle bandwidth in the case of UpRock, could be data storage, wireless connectivity, sensors, or even energy grids. And in return, they're rewarded with tokens or other incentives. So Jesse, can you give us some insight on the current state of DePIN, where it's headed? What are you working on to push the space forward? And you've got a few partnerships here.
Yeah, that's right. So we do take like we love to connect with like-minded businesses. The Web3 way, it's like, maybe in the Web2, some of these companies would be considered our competitors. But really, like, if our competitors are more the centralized, the Googles of the world, the Meta, the companies are centralizing all the data. They want to have a centralized AI plus centralized data, and that is the future of the internet we do not want. You need to really marry the Web3 principles with AI, because they're actually the perfect counterweight, really, and that's the future we want. So we take a very composable, like, networking mindset. The more our wallets can connect, more our networks can interact with each other, the more liquid everything is. That means more transactions we can do, the more revenue share, and that's how we create our moat, and that's how we disrupt the old way of doing things better. And so so DePioneer is an extension. This project here is an extension of that philosophy. And what Depioneers is it's actually the first hybrid NFT DePIN DAO. So it's a community. It's 10,000 NFT holders. And the whole NFT in this case is like a membership into the community. And it's a hybrid because when you buy this NFT, it's actually backed by the top, some of the top DePIN tokens in the Solana community. And maybe in the future be other chains. Like Koi is actually a fork of Solana as well. But what the idea is here is, like, instead of having to buy 6 to 7 different tokens, you buy one NFT, it's token backed. That gives you an opportunity for more liquidity for the NFT as well, because now you can actually sell the whole NFT with the PFP. Anytime you can either sell the NFT on secondary sales, like on Tensor and Magic Eden. But instead of waiting for a buyer, if you really want the tokens, you can liquidate the PFPs, send the NFT back to the smart contract. Doesn't get burned. Someone can remint it in the future, but you can collect the tokens in the NFT. There is a liquidation fee. So if you are paper hands, we charge a 10% fee, and that fee goes to the DAO. So everyone who continues to hold the tokens, the amount of tokens per NFT increases. But the point here is this. We want to create a community that just raises awareness for many cool DePIN projects. And 10,000 community strong is a really powerful marketing community. If any of these tokens actually start to grow in price, that means the value of each token will grow, will become a very formidable marketing DAO. When we first launched this thing, when we finally pretty much sell up maybe around TGE time, we'll have roughly $4 to $5 million worth of SOL, depending on the price of SOL. That's a lot of tokens that we're going to be able to collectively buy as a group for many different DePIN projects. Now, let's say any of these do 10x, 20x over the course of the next year, because AI and DePIN is the narrative in crypto right now. That means this DePIN DAO can be have the marketing power of $100 million collection or more. That's very powerful. That means we can do great events. I mean, that's a formidable marketing group. That means other DePIN projects would probably want to be a participant in this. They can either airdrop, and in a reciprocal nature, this 10,000 NFT group that's very bullish on DePIN will also promote your project. We'll tweet about it, not tweet about it, X post about it, right? Put on Discord. So that's what this is. So we're really excited to have a lot of our partners involved. What that means is they're buying the NFTs, they have skin in the game. They're going to do real life events together. If you guys have ever thrown real life events, they're a pain in the ass, to do. And so there's a ton of them too. There's Korean Blockchain Week, there's Breakpoint in Singapore. And so being able to work with a lot of like-minded businesses and DAOs and NFT projects and just do a really awesome kick-ass DePIN AI events and meet other like-minded businesses, meet other people who are excited about this narrative, meet the community through this is what's going to make this a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the community with NFTs, and that's what makes it the most exciting thing about this too. It's like this is really the way to do it in crypto. There's no other way around it. You have to do it this way. You got to make it exciting like this. So, yeah.
You do. You have to make it exciting. And I've done a personal video just on my own YouTube channel regarding Depioneers.
Yep.
I love it. I love it because I've been in the space a little while, and this has tokens, as you said, backing the value of the NFT. So I think DePIN's a very exciting narrative. I think it's a very exciting thing. It has, in real use cases, in real life use cases.
Yeah.
And I'm super bullish on this personally. So if this interests you, go and grab one now. You have to lock up one SOL, and then the remainder is paid on the mint day. It's of course not financial advice, but I am.
Of course.
I want a few. Just double checking. You're allowed more than one, right?
Correct. Actually, and just because we just talked about Saga DAO, if anyone actually has a Genesis token, we didn't put this on our post yet, but if anyone actually connects their wallet to with their Saga phone, we give out perks to people who are very bullish on Solana, and said the Saga Genesis token represents that really, because that means you're really early adopter with your first crypto phone. So anyone who has a Saga Genesis token will automatically be in group 1 no matter what. Just have that token. So that's an instant perk you get as long as you have the Genesis token. So
right.
We just announced that today. Woohoo! That's a little alpha.
Wow.
So if you have that,
are we announcing that?
Yeah, we're announcing it. Go ahead. Yeah, and we just talked. Yeah, we just had the Soul Sexual man on, so we gotta tell him that.
Yeah, every day I ask Jesse, when do we announce Saga? When do we announce Saga? When do we announce Saga?
Yeah. So we're excited to say that, and again, like it's what makes why I can never go back to Web 2 is because of the community aspect in Web 3. It's the best part of it, really. It's the most exciting part. Like you never can go back. I can never go back to this kind of a silo version of just heads down building and never talk to the community and not have these kind of great ways, because the hybrid NFT represents that. The PFP is this digital avatar. It represents yourself, that you're really bullish on this narrative, that you can work with other companies. You have it's basically a membership to a community that you really a narrative you all want to rally behind. And then the tokens, well, it makes it sustainable. So when you're buying the PFP, it's very speculative with generative art, and that's amazing as well. I like to just buy NFT for the art itself without having to resell it. I just like to support artists, and so that's great. That's great too. But if you want to have a community that can be really sustainable, when you're buying a Depioneers, you're actually buying products that are going to help decentralize the internet. You can buy projects that are going to help break the monopoly on decentralized data with like Google's. You can be projects to like decentralized energy grids. So you're really supporting like multiple startups with one NFT project, which makes this more sustainable over time. And that's what NFTs just NFTs in general, they're itching to come back. You know, meme tokens, crypto has been coming back, but a lot of NFT projects are still down like 80, 90%, even some of the best ones, you know? So I think even if they want to look at the protocol, we're going to open source it soon. It's called the SPL 302 protocol. That's the protocol that powers this, the smart contract that powers this project. We're going to open source it. If anyone else out there in Solana space that wants to kind of like adapt and grow into a kind of new version of their community and say, hey, this can rejuvenate and provide more life into their NFT community, think about it. Think about maybe raising your own token, or rallying around a community of tokens. Could be a meme, like maybe it's just around dog coins or cat coins or whatever, or maybe something more serious. Either one, it'd be a great way to actually token back your community, bring some more life back. And I bet you a lot of NFT communities would love that, because they have not come back as the rest of the crypto has yet. You know,
they haven't, and I think some of them will, but I think this is a standard that more of them need to adopt. It's just the reality. There's community, and there's really active communities like this one, but then there's also, you know, there's too much speculation in these PFP communities. I'm guilty of it. Yeah, times a million. I want to support people trying to change the future. I think something like this, it aligns with my values. All right. Well, we're getting towards the end of the stream. We've got a couple more things to go through. So in the meantime, let's just quickly go over Koi Network. Yep. Jesse or Chris, what can you tell us about the partnership with Koi?
Yeah. So we were you know, this is our first call, so we were quite over, and Al, the CEO there, he was hoping to jump on. He's pretty busy, so I think he could, maybe next one we'll bring him on, try to coordinate better. But he was on the sidelines for a bit, but again, like, this is our first call doing this, so we'll try to do it better next time. So anyway, but we can talk about it. So we're really excited about Koi. It was our first partnership we announced, and the day we announced it, that weekend we doubled our daily active users. So that's really exciting, because we multiplied our sales and marketing team on both sides. And so why is this kind of a crypto match made in heaven? Well, they're very strong on the compute side for desktop. So they have 67,000 nodes that people can run. If you have a macro Windows or a desktop machine, anyone can run one. So they go to Koi Network, I think it's Koi.network, and you can start running, and you can start earning Koi tokens. We're not as strong on desktop, but they're also they don't have a much mobile presence. And so when we talked together and said, hey, why don't we know our customers are both going to need desktop IPs and mobile IPs. So why don't we do rev share and be able to fulfill this growing demand for bandwidth from all devices, whether it's desktop. Desktop is more of the workhorse, and while mobile is more of the hyper geolocation collection of data in real time. And so those two complement each other so well. And then it's a win-win-win, because our customers can now earn another token for just keeping the UpRock installed in their apps. They can earn UPT and can earn Koi, and vice versa. The Koi network can start earning UPT as well. So we're really excited about that. It is going to be our low-hanging fruit as far as revenue goes. It's actually, they're real buyers there. So after our TG, we're going to actually go full force on this, and it'll actually start making revenue like a month after TGE. So we're really excited about that. There's to be able to do that. We're going to also we're announcing a hackathon together. So it's going to be a developer hackathon where there's going to be a bounty and a bounty bags in both Koi and UpRock token. And so the idea is like, if you want to submit your ideas, like, what could you do if you had 100,000 desktop nodes, like hardcore computing workhorses, and you had 1 million mobile IPs decentralized? What kind of apps, dApps, and AI tools could you build with that kind of combination network? Okay, so the best ideas win, and that's what that hackathon is going to be about. So yeah, we're going to post it, probably a PDF one pager on Koi's social media. We're going to post it on UpRock's social media, and then we'll have some details on the requirements. But that's kind of the high level what's it about. So that will come probably within a week. Within a week, we'll give out the details on how you can submit. There'll be a Google form for developers to put their entry in. Yeah.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Well, we're excited to see the whole space grow. And as I mentioned before, it's about a coalition, just working with other people that have decent skills just to grow the pie. It's not isolated, it's growing the pie. So thanks so much for that. Look, another reminder that I don't actually have a slide for this, as far as I'm aware. I don't have a slide. But Solana Crossroads is in Istanbul, Friday and Saturday in Turkey. This is a big Solana event. Let us know in the chat who's going to be there. I'll be there. And team, you'll be there, right?
Yep. We're gonna like a lot of us will be there. Chris can't make it, but we'll have a base like 7 of us, or we're 9 full time, we'll have 7 of us there. So yeah, so DM us. We're totally down to meet. That's the whole point of these conventions, and we're in Istanbul. How awesome is that? And so yeah, don't be shy. If you want to meet us, whether you want to partner on Depioneers or just want to talk about DePIN, or you want to join the NFT group, or you want to just talk about the ambassador program, or just have a shot. Don't be shy. DM us. That's what the whole reason we want to meet in real life. We're here for all of it. Yep.
Fantastic. Come and say hi if you see my face as well. Say hi, and let's. I think it's time for the giveaway, isn't it? Let's do the giveaway. So it's a Depioneers UpRock giveaway. It hasn't minted yet, so whoever the winner is, we'll go over that afterwards. But it's time for the giveaway. Let's go. Here we are. We'll just,
hey.
We'll pause that for just a moment.
That's funny.
So to enter, you've got 30 seconds. To enter, go to UpRock. Let's just do it nice and easy. Go to twitter.com, uprock.com. Make sure you're following UpRock, of course. And make sure you're following Depioneers Cats. Very simple. For your chance to win, retweet our live stream posts right here using hashtag data the new oil. The lucky winner will be announced at the end of the event. So, okay, so the actual task is the lucky winner will be announced. So you have to retweet our live stream post.
Yeah, that's it.
It's this one
Just
here,
follow
okay?
Depioneers Cats, retweet with the hashtag, and that's it. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. So follow, retweet, include the hashtag, done.
Okay, but I just want to make sure everyone's that's watching, this is the one you have to retweet. Or should we do it? Should we do this one? Because it's kind of like it's in quoted. I think this is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because we said both, and if we'll check both. I mean, I mean, we can we'll
go with
it
this
simple.
one.
We can do one. Go with that one. Okay, that's fine.
We'll go with this one. All right. So I've already pasted it there, but let's repaste it. Win account must follow. So we'll go grab Depioneers Cats.
Oh, I didn't know this is so fancy. We got Twitter picker. Okay.
So fancy. Depioneers Cats.
They're ready to actually go through the feed right now. Like, oh my god, that's.
No.
I should have got a beer.
And there's no. I'm sure you're following UpRock regardless, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Look, I know there's a lot of young people, like new people in the space. We don't want any bots, so must have a picture. You okay with me keeping this as a setting, 1 month old account, or should we have this a 1 week old account? Generally, I think 1 month is kind of
1 month.
the good. We don't need to worry about. Some
Yeah.
people will be very brand new. Let's go with this. Okay?
Sure. We trust your gut.
All right. Okay, load the tweet. Sorry. Continue. This shows all of the entries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I feel like this should be a drum roll or something. Yeah.
That's nice. That is nice. All right. Continue. I think we're all loaded. Continue. Okay. Begin the draw. Oh, that's not okay. Well, clearly that's redraw.
Wow.
This is redraw. Redrawing. All right.
There you go. That was hilarious, though. By the way, that you got first.
What are the odds on that? 1 in 13,331. I love those odds.
That's ridiculous. You should buy a lottery ticket right now. So who won? Cool. All right.
The person that won. So, what do you want them to do? Go and open a ticket in Discord, or probably just follow you and DM
Yeah,
I think just to make sure it's the same account, please send UpRock.com. If you're the winner, please send UpRock.com a DM, and we will respond to you. And it'll take us just a little while. Well, we'll respond to you quickly, but we'll figure out exactly how to get that into your wallet.
Great. And your DMs are open for everybody.
Yep. We'll follow it. Yep. And if we don't do it, you can call us out, but we will do it. So don't worry. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining, and congratulations to the winner.
Yep.
And it's not my This is sorry. This is funny. It says second account.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's
you're
not.
Anyway, you're the sole investor in that twitterpicker.com.
Pretty much. All that effort for one coveted NFT, an NFT that I'm very, very excited for.
Very cool. Welcome to the DAO. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be doing this again.
This has been
when will we? Pleasure. When will we be doing this again, gents? More details to come on Twitter.
Yeah. Ideally, we're gonna do a weekly countdown. Might be closer to the DG. We might do either a few more AMAs, even to mix it up a little bit. We're gonna, there's always a lot of questions. Our MO is just we want to over communicate, so there's no confusion, no FUD, nothing like that. We're gonna try to, the TG is all about the community. It's the community supporting us. So that's what the TG is all about, the community. So we're gonna do everything we can to answer all the questions, and but yeah, so at least weekly for this thing. That's the goal. And then we might do even a couple other things to like AMAs, maybe technical deep dives, whatever the community wants from us. Yeah. So
brilliant. And another thing is make sure you subscribe to YouTube. I've already seen the subscribers grow, so thank you very much. But we're going to get a couple of clips made to try and concisely put all the information out there of some key points of this video, and then we'll keep doing that just so that the community is educated on what UpRock is trying to achieve with your help. So thanks very much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks to everyone who joined and listened in. We appreciate all your support. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who's downloaded the app and who's engaging with us. We love talking to each and every one of you.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
cheers. Cheers, Seb.
Cheers.
Yeah, you're awesome. Thanks so much, man.